Welcome to Dan ARG YouTube. IDAHOSA family don't run to Emmanuel Agbogun for help. He dey explain to Emmanuel how Osakpawa no more less take join Enogi for their community. They drag their papa land. So make I leave you, make you hear how this land matter take happen.
Yes. Good evening, my ever-conscious Edo people. I remain no other person than yours noble right activist, Comrade IDAHOSA Emmanuel. And very well this evening, as you all know, we are discussing the issue of land invasion by some unscrupulous elements who have no other job in Benin City than to go into land grabbing. And very well, you all know the position of the Omonoba Nedo Kwapolopolo Obaewa the second Oba Atope. So you all know what the monarch has said, that any group of persons indulging in CDA related activities will no longer be tolerated in Edo State. Particularly for some of us who believe in the rule of law, for some of us who believe that Edo State is not a safe haven for criminal elements living within us, that would not want to use their life given to them by God to explore the economic fortunes of the state in a positive manner, but go around to harass those persons who have been going about their lawful engagements in a way that Edo State would be a better place for all of us. But what this group of persons have been doing over time is to ensure that they stop at nothing but to continuously intimidate those persons who are going about their lawful businesses. Having explained this far, we are seated here with the son of Solomon IDAHOSA. I think because of time, Epa couldn't speak today, but a whole lot of persons who have been calling me from across the globe really wanted to hear their own side of the story, particularly some persons interested from the palace on this issue. So, Epa, you're welcome, sir.
Thank you very much.
It's a pleasure having you here.
Yeah.
And the reason why we want to talk further is that we want to hear from you. Everybody wants to hear from you what has been transpiring over time as regards to your father's oil palm in Wovioba community. That has to be your village.
Yes.
Are you sure you're from the village?
We are from Wovioba
village. Let Edo people hear you.
Yes. The land in question was purchased by my father from the Enogi of Wovioba. The first parcel of land was purchased sometime in 2005. And the second parcel of land was purchased sometime 2006. This land, my dad is using it for oil palm plantation. He is a member, he's from that community. They refused to give him his inheritance, his share of his farmland. When they told him that the community owns all the land, that he has no land, he decided to buy from the community. He purchased the first parcel, then the second parcel. Along the line, the Enogi called the community people, incited them against my father, that he should pursue my father from the community. That if they allow my father to stay in the community, they will not have enough land to sell. Because my father was agitating for them to give him his own share of the community, of his farmland, which they refused, which other communities are doing. But they refused, and my dad bought the land. But Enogi did not allow my dad to have peace in the community. So he harassed him with assassination, kidnapping, and my dad had to run to the palace of the Oba of Benin, where they invited the Enogi. At the palace, they interviewed both parties, called the community CDA, and judgment was given in my father's favor. As we speak, we have a judgment from the court in 2013, also in our favor. We've been doing our legitimate business in peace until recently, when Enogi's son, Osakpawa Eriyo, entered my father's land started demolishing, destroying the palm trees with no recourse to the costs which invested in planting those things. These are palm trees that are over 17 years. We have meal there. We are processing oil from that place. We get a minimum of 10 drums. We have about 5,000 stands in that place. Weekly, we get about 10 drums of palm oil every week. That's what we process. Now they drove my workers. They said they should not enter the farm. The people, they brought in thugs. They are with guns. They are in the bush. They've taken over the farm. Led by Osakpama Eriyo, aka No Molest. I appealed to him that this farm is for my father. But he insisted, he said the farm, that Omonoba said the farmland is not for my father. The judgment from the palace is there. I have equally written to the palace for them to invite the community people and tell them, if I don't know the role Osakpama is playing in this. He's not saying it is 100 plots that the Omonoba approved for my father for oil palm plantation. My dad bought the land. There is document to that effect. But Osakpama is aiding the people of Ewovioba community to cause crisis, chaos. What is happening now, if I take the laws into my hand, can lead to bloodshed and anarchy. But I'm a law-abiding citizen. The reason I'm calling on the relevant agency to come to my aid. I have reported the case to the police. The police went there, but they were helpless. Osakpama even went to that extent of telling them that the police have no right to tell the people who invaded the farm to leave. He said the police has no right. That's what he told the police. He said they have no right, that they cannot stop them from destroying my father's plantation.
You don't mean it?
Yes, that's what he said.
So I want to get something straight here, and I believe most of my viewers out there will also want to ask this very question. As at the time when you went to the palace initially,
yes,
what was the resolve of the palace?
The palace resolved that the land my father bought from Enogie was legitimately, was duly paid for, and that the land should be returned to my father, that my father should go and take possession of his land. That was the decision of the palace. That was the decision of the palace.
What year was that?
That was in 2010.
2010?
Yes.
Yeah, but I've seen some documents talking about 2013 leading to suspension. No, I think 2010 also talking about suspension of the Enogie. So when the Enogie was suspended, I think at some point he was also reinstated back, maybe after performing some traditional rites or so.
Yes.
Did he at that point in time indulge in any form of land grabbing with you?
When the Enogie was suspended based on the disobedience of the judgment from the palace,
okay,
that was what led to his suspension.
Okay, so what you are trying to say now is that on or before now, the Enogie is fond of disobeying the decision of the palace.
He is fond of doing that.
Okay. Also, one question again I want to ask. You talk about Osakpama Eriyo, No Molest. I know him very well. But I want to ask, is No Molest an indigene of that community?
He's not an indigene of Ewovioba community. So I'm surprised where he's coming up with that his mother owns 400 by 1,000 feet in my father's plantation.
I'm coming, sir. In your father's plantation, is his mother from Ewovioba?
You people should help me ask Osakpama Eriyo where his mother came from in Ewovioba. I don't know. I've never heard that.
So before now, have there been any threats? Has he made any adversaries or any advance to meet you as a person, to dialogue peacefully, to tell you his interest in that place? Or did he inform you that he was going to go there to annex what he claims his mother has?
He has never met me. It's only recently when I discovered that he was involved. And I said, okay, let me find out what is really happening. But when I met him, he tried oppressing me trying to impose his own decision on me. That the decision of the palace is that is stated on the decision of the palace that it is 100 plots that the palace allotted to me. And I said that is not true. And I told him he's being biased, that he's not being fair, that what he's doing, and that is not true, that I will not take that from him.
Okay, excluding Osakpawa and the Enoge, are there any other persons who are also, disturbing your right to ownership on that parcel of land?
Well, it's the Enoge and his cohorts, the son, Kester Izebokun, that is spearheading the whole crisis, being sponsored by Osakpawa Eriyo, aka No Molest.
Okay. So, but in recent time, have you made reports to the police at any formation level? Whether AIG, State CID, or Area Command?
I've reported the case at AIG about the malicious damage to my father's economic crops.
Okay.
I've reported the matter.
So have they made any efforts to invite the Enoge and other parties involved?
The police sent invitation letter to them. That's the extent to which I know.
Okay, they've sent invitation letters.
Yes.
Okay, sir.
And they are investigating the matter.
One question I want to ask you, as an Edo son who has thought it wise to invest in Benin Kingdom, thought it wise not to invest in Benin Kingdom, but from your ancestral home, your Aboriginal community, as a Benin man, have you got any regrets for this?
Oh, I regret. Even my father, some Enigi invited my father before that. If my father was in their community, they would give him large expanse of land to do his business.
Okay.
I regret investing in it, which is a colossal loss.
So one question here is are you believing that the palace can resolve this issue?
I know. I have confidence in the power of the palace and the ability of Royal Majesty Omonopanetu Oba Ewari the Ogidiga. He can resolve this matter because this was the decision, the judgment given by the father in 2010.
Okay. So my ever-conscious Edo people, I had called out earlier today to see Pa Solomon himself, but because of this issue, Epa has been from one clinic to another. I also tried meeting him up at Faith Mediplex, but because of traffic also, he kept on calling, I couldn't come. But at the time when I was able to access his home now, he is on bed rest, and Kosi demands that health first. So please, I want to appeal to you all. You have heard from his horse's mouth. This is his son, Charles IDAHOSA. And the beautiful part about it is that everybody involved in this land issue are all alive. Everybody involved in this land issue, the Enoge, the community elders, the buyer, Pa Solomon IDAHOSA, everybody involved. So, sir, I want to ask, before we go, are your workers currently working?
They've driven them. In short, they lay ambush. They are in the bush. As at today, my palm trees, they fell, all of them. They are now tapping palm wine from the palm trees.
As at today?
As at today, that's what they are doing. They are felling my palm tree. They are using it. They are not tapping palm wine from it. They are drinking. They are in the bush there with arms. So my workers, they are all at home, idling, nothing, and I have to pay at the end of the month. My palm fruits are ripe. They are all falling off, getting rotten in the bush. They are destroying them.
So before I leave, before now, in 2015, did you hear any issue about anybody coming to rustle your land with you?
2015, no.
2017?
No.
2018?
No.
2019?
No.
Just this 2021?
2020, around December, because December 15th, that was when I got a letter. Okay, before this time, they sent invitation letter. Then they now brought a court summon for my father, and we were to appear in court December 17th, High Court 3, which we file all the necessary papers, file our counter and our defense, and we were in court on that 17th. The case was adjourned till January 27th. But before the next adjournment that they entered, they took us to court, and now they are resorting to self to start destroying my palm tree without waiting for the court to decide the case.
But going through some documents I got, I was privy to the information that there was a court judgment restraining the
Enogie and his agents perpetually from
encroaching into that land.
Very well, that's correct.
I have a copy of the judgment from High Court.
Yes, High Court 2.
So have you, in your defense, have you been able to inform the High Court 3 that...
yes, we've been able to, we've informed the court about the contempt activity that Enogie and his cohorts, they are carrying out in connivance with Osakpama and Rio, having no regard for the judiciary, not allowing the decision of the court to prevail, resorting to self-help, taking the laws into their hands.
I totally agree with you. Courtesy demands that we also hear from Osakpama and Rio, but at this junction I will not be calling him because I would also want to have him live on the stream to also come and tell Edo people what he knows, because everybody knows, of course, at some time or the other we were, say to say, in one political movement to see how we can help the state. But definitely what I'm hearing about land grabbing, encroachment to land, I don't think that's part of any civilized approach to helping Edo people or helping Edo State in any form.
That is to create chaos and anarchy,
bloodshed. I agree with you.
If I resort to self-help as if mobilize thugs with arms and not mobilize, what do you think will happen in that community?
I know there will be anarchy. I know there will be anarchy. But please, I want to appeal to you on behalf of whom concerned authority we are addressing all these grievances on. But I can assure you, a whole lot of persons, relating to the palace have been calling on this issue. So I want to tell you that just exercise your patience on our own part as civil society. We'll ensure that we support whoever is right to get justice at the end of the day. But the truth be said, if any right-thinking Edo man, any right-thinking Bini person, Bini man, will be going against the dictates of the Oba, particularly when it has to do with CDA and sales of land, I don't think that person is in his right frame of mind. Because the Oba has said any group of person indulging in land grabbing, CDA related activities will be shown the stroke of the palace. So basically, I believe the palace will not be in support of this, because previously the palace has already given a decision on this, and I don't see the palace going, against their decision. But nevertheless, we are going to wait for constituted authorities to call us for this matter. And we on our part as civil society also, we try to balance the report at every given time. So we'll place a call up across to Osakpama and Rio tomorrow morning on our live broadcast to also hear his own side. Because this is a civil matter, but when you start carrying arms, carrying bulldozers to encroach into someone's land, bulldozing the land without lawful permission, it amounts to illegality, it amounts to criminality, it amounts to crime. So
where the police want to even call him to order, he will tell the police that they don't have right to stop him from doing that.
Are you sure you said so?
Yes, he said so. I have people who witnessed it. He said the police do not have right to stop them from, and he said it.
Okay, so thank you for this point. I think tomorrow we'll also be asking Osakpama this question, why he's saying the police does not have right, to question his activities on your property. But be it as it may,
it is the court that can
give him that
order, directive. And now you are disregarding the power of the court. You use this abuse of courts.
I agree. This is the contempt of court, because no resolution has been reached. And both parties are still, putting their case before the court. One party is taking
arms to go and take possession.
I agree with you, Pachals. I agree with you. So the truth be said, at this juncture, we would want you to remain calm. Just as I said earlier, very many people have been calling, and I believe with the broadcast we had on Sunday and what we are doing now, obviously these news will have been brought before the monarch. I know our monarch is somebody that enjoys watching the activities on social media, and I put it to you that he must have seen this. And thus far, I know the monarch was part of those people that supported the state government in ensuring that CDA was eradicated in our state, and it's one of those are one of those milestone achievements of the current administration. So be it as it may, we are also going to ensure that after hearing from both sides, we'll do the needful to give our support to whoever is the actual owner. But thus far, with documents available to me, I put it to anybody watching that the IDAHOSAs are the owner of that parcel of land, owing to the fact that the monarch, the courts, have given them a judgment that has never been contested at any fora or any platform or at any apex court in the land. So I put it to you that Mr. Charles, with documents available, Mr. Charles and his father and their family are the actual owners of those said parcel of land. So sir, it's a pleasure having you. All we will want to advise and also appeal to you for is to remain calm. Yes. The saying justice will only come for a while justice remains for eternity. So for me, I'm an activist. I believe in advocating for what is right, and I believe in that whoever is towing the path of righteousness, on the path of lawfulness, in the path of law and order, would always get justice at the end of the day. So please remain calm. We'll also balance this reportage by hearing from Osapawa, because it's somebody I know. If it was not somebody I know I cannot reach, I would also let it know. But it's somebody I know and I can also reach him. So I also want to find out his claims so that it becomes a discussion on the public domain. For me, I will not be happy if it is on the contrary. You know. So for me, I want to say thank you for those of you who are watching, over 200 that are currently watching us. And for those of you who come across this broadcast today, try as much as possible to ensure that if you know those people on the erring side, and you are an Edo man and you love, progress in Edo State. This is an Edo man who left all the vast lands you have, across Edo State in other parts of the state, and came to his own host community to invest in agro products, in palm economic pursuits and ventures. And at the end of the day, his own people, particularly the Enoge, the brother of the palace, the brother of the Oba, they are the ones oppressing him. Somebody who they are supposed to give prayers and all forms of support, as the case may be. Must we always sell land? I've always been asking this question. Must Benin land always be for sale? Can't we invest in our lands and make it viable for our people to come and benefit from in generations and generations to come? This is the question out there for we all to answer as Benin people. Once again, I remain grateful for those of you who have obliged me with your time to listen to our broadcast today. Once again, Epa, we say thank you and God bless you. Welcome, sir.
Thank you.
Abeg, help us share this video to friends and family. If you never subscribe to Dan ARG YouTube, try make you subscribe so that make you for dey current with all the things wey dey happen for Edo State. So make I leave you with this video, make you help us share am. Thank you for watching Dan ARG YouTube.